The best coach you've ever played for?
It's a difficult one, but I have to give it to Coach Pitso and Coach Gavin. Coach Pitso gave me my debut, Coach Gavin enhanced me. So the two of them really, I can't separate the two in terms of how my career developed.
Your favorite football memory as a player?
Oh, there's so many, Mikey, but I think winning the first league title was really, really special. I think as a player, everybody dreams of winning a league title in the PSL. I think that league title, we lost against Bloemfontein and Celtic, but we won the league, and that explains to you that a league is over 30 games and not one game.
Your favorite footballer growing up?
Oh, I was a staunch Orlando Pirates fan, so you'll always find me watching those type of players. Jeris Kusana really at the beginning when I started watching the early 90s, really came up and scored from impossible angles. I think he was one of my favorite players, and obviously Steve Lekoleo came on board, and he was just something different on the ball. So there's so many of them, But if I can say one player that really stood out for me and mentality-wise, not even in my position, it's always been Papi Komani. I think the late Papi Komani he was epitome of elegance, class, leadership, hard tackler. He had all the elements of a great footballer, and you tend to sponge off and see, this guy's mentality is really something different.
Yeah. Your biggest football regret?
Can I call it a regret? I'd probably say unfortunate not moving to Europe and not having a go in Europe, not having experienced playing in Europe and seeing if my mentality. I believe that if given the opportunity with my mentality, I could have probably flourished in that environment.
Definitely.
So I think that's the one of the regrets, if you can call it that, that I do have about my career.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say not giving up football and playing professional cricket.
No. I enjoy my cricket. I'm very content and happy. I'm supposed to play tonight soccer, but I told the guys, I'm very sorry, guys, but maybe I'll come watch you. But I play cricket, I don't play soccer. I coach soccer, not play soccer.
The toughest opponent you've ever faced?
Definitely Cyril and Zama. When I was a Super Sport, he was Kaiser Chiefs right back. No nonsense. Tackle you. Tackles you, messes you up. So I think mentally, physically, he was way, way stronger than me, and it was really, really tough coming up against him, being a 19-year-old.
The most underrated player you played with?
Sure, Shane Pochenpoel, definitely.
Yeah.
Two-touch, if you look at modern midfielders, I look at the Spain game last night, Rodrigo. When you look at Rodrigo playing for Spain, that's the type of player Shane Pochenpoel was. On the ball, very, very minimal touches, off the ball, reads the game well, will go into a challenge when he has to, will crunching challenges when he has to do it in midfield. But he really dominated in midfield, as a player. And you could see the development from Ajax and the mindset he has. I think for me, he hasn't been celebrated in South African football, or hasn't gotten his flowers for the amount of work he's put in, especially with the league titles of winning at SuperSport United.
Your best friend in football?
Best friend in football? Oh, who do I even... There's so many colleagues that you meet and you become close to many, many, many of them. I had a special bond with Robin Johannes at the beginning of our careers. We're still friends, we still speak from time to time. But there's no real one that you can call. Shane Pochenpoel was close, Ricardo Katza was close to him. So I've got quite a few of them that I'm really, really close to, that I still speak to today. My relationship with Shane Pochenpoel is still fantastic. So if I have to put a name to one person, I would say Shane Pochenpoel, because of the amount of time we spent together away from football as well. Even after our careers, even when I moved to Pirates, how I still stayed in contact with him. So he's a really, really good friend. I think friend outside of football and inside of football.
The best player you've played with?
Oh, there is. Luke Decker was something else. Started late in his career, coming in. I really admired him. I'd have to give it to him. But there's players like Sheppy that I watched cross the football. I think he is a better crosser in the ball than me. I had to probably work hard to get it accuracy. I think his was just natural. It looked just natural to me. It didn't look like he stayed behind and kicked 50, 100 balls every week into the box. It looked like he just gets it and he just does it. So I think Sheppy for me was also one of my favorite players. watching him do his art and working defensively and in attack. I think for me that was he probably doesn't know how much I admire him, but I've told him many times before that he was one of the players that I admire growing up playing football.
Yeah. You're the best goal of your career.
When I have to, it's probably obviously I have to give it to the Soweto Derby free kick that I scored, because that is the one that I get when you go outside. The one is the one moment that people remember. It's that moment in the derby of that free kick. I get reminded of that probably daily. If I get anybody, they will always refer to. They will ask me, "Do you still remember the free kick that you scored against Chiefs in the derby?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I know." So I think that, for me, I think that's everybody else's favorite as well. So it has to become my favorite one as well.
Match-winning assist or a match-winning goal?
I'm big on both. Either or for me. Either or. Obviously, scoring is a better feeling, but just being part of it. Yeah, I would call it scoring. I also enjoyed assisting. I don't mind assisting for the winning goal, but if I can score, then why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can think
Do you have a favorite stadium that you played in?
Yeah, favorite stadium. I'm very biased when it comes to that. It has to be the Nelson Mandela Stadium. It's nice and compact, nice and and whenever I played there, I could hear my friends' voices. In Afrikaans, speaking in our own language. The swearing words that will come from there. How they greet me. So yeah, definitely the stadium at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium for me is my favorite, because that's where I'm from.
The worst roommate you had in your career?
To Ricardo Katsa because of his farting. But the problem with his farting. So whenever I used to be in a room with Ricardo Katsa, we'd have a farting competition. Nasty, nasty, I know, but yeah, that roommate is not a roommate for me, because we end up having a battle. Unpleasant battle.
That is class. You got to pick a five-a-side team of players that you've played with. Goalkeeper and 4 outfield players. Five-a-side team.
Goalkeeper, five-a-side. Look, in the five-a-side already, Senzo. I think Senzo he will really. He'll take out anything that comes his way. If he can take out from the big goals, imagine that small goals in the indoor, how difficult it will be and how passionate he is about not conceding. I think that's one. I think Morgan will be one. Very, very hard tackler, very good player. We can leave him alone at the back there. And then we can play with 3 attackers. You don't even need a midfielder in that. Pelembe is definitely one. I think Pelembe is really, his stars has really grown over the years, and the amount of time we spent together. I think he's fantastic, really a fantastic player. And then, of course, I've played with Penny McCarthy. One can't leave him out, But then I'd put myself on the bench. I'd have Opa Manisha in there just for the flair, just for the amount of flair that he has. So you tick all the boxes. You got Pelembe that's very skillful. You got Penny that can finish the job, and you have Opa that can create a lot. Morgan Gold will be there at the back. Anybody that comes in the territory there, he'll take care. Morgan Gold comes from Andrew Rabutla school, so you can think.
The jaws of life. Cool, man. And then last of those questions, 3 teammates for a night out. Who are you going with?
3 teams are not, definitely not Steven Pinar, because he doesn't like going home when we go out. No, I think I've had fantastic times with a lot of teammates. Clayton Daniels, for me, a night out with Clayton Daniels always becomes into a whole night out with Clayton Daniels, and it's so much fun. So he's definitely one player that I will choose. And then another player that's fun to go out is Andile Jali. The amount of times I went, a few occasions I went out with him. It's very, very interesting. So I think those are the 2. I think Clayton, for the vibes, he's fantastic person to be out with, so jolly, so happy, so much fun to be around, and never a dull moment.
I give you 2 players' names. You got to choose one, and we just go down the line. That guy stays on. Let's see. We go Mofo King or Dylan Shepherd.
Shepherd, obviously.
Shepherd or Jabu Pule.
Oh, tough one. For the crowd, Jabu Pule. When you compare Shepherd and Jabu Pule, I'll have to go for Jabu Pule.
Jabu Pule or Steve Lekolea?
That's a tough one, eh? Whoa. I'm going to be biased and go Steve Lekolea.
Steve Lekolea or Mabalane?
Definitely Lekolea. But Mabalani is
Lekolea.
my friend though. We've shared a change room together, but we can't compare Steve with Tommy. I think that's
Okay.
unfair. That's unfair.
Yeah. Steve Lekolea or Shaba?
Again, I'm going for Steve again. So because of the way he played and the way he was. No disrespect to Shaba, fantastic player, obviously, but let's keep Steve for now.
Steve Lekolea or Stanton Fredericks?
My friend Stanton Fredericks has to take over there. I think he played an important part in my life as a footballer. People don't know. He's from Joburg, and I managed to spend a lot of time with him when he moved to Supersport. So definitely Stanton. My reasoning, I have reasoning for it at least.
Yeah, cool. Stanton Fredericks or Dalron Buckley?
Uh, I'll still go for Stanton because of the person that I know he is.
Yeah. Stanton Fredericks or Daine Klate?
Definitely Stanton Fredericks, not me. He was there before me. Some people called me his nickname when I still dyed my hair, Stiga. Some people still call me that strangely. For people to call me him, when we compare the two, then I'm going with him. I'm also going with him. I'm going to be like the people.
Awesome. Daine, that's everything. Thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome to catch up, man.
Thank you, Mikey. It's awesome,
Yeah.
man. Awesome. Hopefully sometime we can go on the show and I want to interview you, man. I want to ask you questions.
Yeah. We turn the tables. It'd be great when
Yeah.
anytime you're in Cape Town, give me a shout. We'll catch up.
No, definitely. We'll catch up. All
Yeah.
right. Cool, Mikey.
Cool,
Thanks a
man.
lot, man.
Thanks, man. Cheers,
Chat to you in a bit.